Okay then, so I think yeah, things are therefore set up. And let's therefore do a recorded game suggested by xtinxion that was played over the weekend. That means somewhere on Saturday, if I'm not mistaken. No, and we're going to be having some good fun with a 3v3. Continue with the theme. Apparently this time it's going to be the version of Savannah with all kinds of TCs beyond the players, which I'm very happy to see. You don't entirely get to see that and watch that too often, as therefore Brickhead is gonna be on one of the teams. He's gonna be playing with Odin. Seems like the gold mine is gonna be not entirely too terribly positioned for him. As you can say now, this is going to be also, oh well, starting on berries, not entirely the most ideal, but it's still going to be meaning we do have some animals around, potentially some rhinos here, I don't know, something like that. Might be a here thing for him still, as all the way into the middle, you're gonna be having there for Deimos. Maybe he actually could have streamed that even live. I think he was streaming somewhere a few days ago, so not sure if he was also on Saturday. But that's gonna be a good gold mine for him for the Oranos. Maybe actually a bit surprising that he's Oranos, because I'm thinking that Deimos likes to be playing, thinking that maybe even Isis or Hades. Oh, I guess probably switching over the gods, because I kinda do remember him with thinking both of these in some of the previous community games. All the way to the bottom, the last player therefore is gonna be Slayer Atlan, and he's gonna be playing with Eno the Oranos. You can see he's gonna be having also quite an excellent gold mine, really kind of hard to raid, just in case there's gonna be some kind of raiding in the first place. As you need to be switching therefore into Icaro, who's gonna be playing in the mid as the Isis. So there will be an Isis in the game, or an Isis. Pretty good gold. Quite nice protection by the forest deer, not gonna be a problem to therefore keep it safe. As on the right flank, he's gonna be playing with Chemo as another Isis, really. You know, the Isis there, very interesting. Gold mine slightly more exposed, because you can see, don't entirely see enough of a forest deer to the right. So theoretically, the Oranosis might be having some opportunity to maybe slow him down at least a bit. And on the left side, that's gonna be another Oranos, stand by Snake, and he is going to be having also pretty good gold. So it seems like that most of the players are not entirely having any kind of terrible golds all that much. So you're gonna be turning off the Fog of War, as this of course didn't have a caster, so therefore we won't be having any kind of tools. So let's just turn on the recorded game here. Use the interface for us. We are going to be having Trojan Gate Hinge as one of the first relics. Next one is gonna be available as Pygmalion statue for the extra. For the extras as far as the hit points. It's actually something that we have even seen today. At least once, maybe even a few times with Cradle of Hippolyta. Next ones. Nice, and also the Sphinx, very good for the extra hit points for buildings this time around. And Kopesh of Horus for the better damage versus Smith units, which might be somewhat coming in handy. I think in this one we have seen. Nope, good soft kick everything. So a bit of a shame that we don't have Loki here. But I'm thinking that maybe even the Odin is gonna be somewhat happy about that, as of course it's gonna be right about now counting, and should be counting even Heroes of Ragnarok if I'm not mistaken. They also should be affected by this relic. At least that's what I would be assuming. I at this point legit do not remember if I have kind of like seen that being listed in there somewhere before, and that would be the combination of the relic and Ragnarok, because usually it's something that's gonna be quite a bit sprinted for by Lokis in the game, and that means you of course won't be having Ragnarok there. But nonetheless, maybe it's gonna be opportunity now with apparently Brickhead going for a forward build. Fortunately, it's gonna be immediately discovered by Icaro. So that's kinda bad news. Can be of course right now meaning that Mythic Snake therefore, unless he's gonna be advancing somewhat incredibly late, should be able to somewhat block him. But we are at, no, talking about the incredibly late advances, right? Because we are already at almost 4 minutes and he's still not going through. That looks like it, maybe he could be after this next villager most probably. Because temple is in place, somewhat defensively, you can say it now right next to the TC. So he's somewhat expecting some nonsense, or was expecting nonsenses from Brickhead, probably even before they have even seen him forward. Oh, at the temple, which is gonna be of course at this point netting him quite a decent amount of resources in the mist as far as the hunt goes. And all the way here beyond the base, there's just some kind of random goats, and on top of it a few oracles, which are gonna be maybe even attempting to block the back TC. Because obviously Chemo is very likely to try to go for some 2 TC fasty heroic, which is obviously also the same for Icaro, but they don't seem to be having any kind of great gold mines here. You can see there's practically nothing anywhere back for Icaro. You can see his next gold mine is gonna be quite a bit forward without of course any kind of protection, because of what kind of variant of Savannah we have. As all the way into the front, Manor of course coming forward, already getting ready for the first defensive units here with the Valor, and kind of wonder if it's gonna be even the site for even the military buildings, but probably not. If he's gonna be advancing this late, I'm expecting that it might not be really the case. Gold mine to the bottom for Chemo is maybe as the extra one. Not gonna be entirely that terribly spotted. Wall here, and it's gonna be actually immediately reasonably safe. Even though the town center is a bit further away, but the opportunity is certainly there. So far nobody seems to be going for a kind of archaic TC from the Atlanteans. Raven checking out and making sure of that. So of course we're gonna be having the heroes, and that means that the Valkyrie will have to be waiting for a few friends to join her. Of course Brigade is gonna be continuing with his forward build. And apparently going for the classic Ulfsax. No, he's against an Atlantean. So it's making sense, and that was his hand axe. No, I was kinda thinking not. That was looking a bit weird. Should be for the opponents, yeah. Considering that, of course, he's gonna be so late, and he should be having enough time and enough opportunity and resources also for getting himself even pickaxe, most probably. I'll be expecting. Okay, starting army is gonna be apparently standard 1 and 1. All the way into the middle, it's gonna be double Turmas from Deimos. Interesting again. I'm kinda wondering if they're gonna be trying to join with Brigade. I'll be definitely liking if they did. We've already had a bit of a story today with the snakes, so this time it's gonna be right now Icaro trying to at least help his teammate, which could work, and he kinda does want to do that, because I mean, like the 3 extra rhinos here still, that is a pretty solid amount of food that they really want to be taken under their control, with Forest Fire currently helping even against the snakes, but seems like that Brigade is gonna be able to handle it even with only just the Hersirs. Doesn't even need any kind of extra assistance with that. Unfortunately, it looks like that right now Mythic Snake is somewhat forgetting about the Willy here. I'm not entirely certain why, but she is definitely about to burn here. Yeah, just a few hit points left, which is probably gonna be leaving her quite a bit exposed quite soon, wherever she's gonna be working next. As in the front, that's gonna be Chemo having a bit of a problem on the gold. Well, really. Against an Oranos, you're gonna be playing this way. Good luck with that then. But maybe still gonna be even 1 TC fast the heroic, and we could be there for having potentially the classic pre-siege. Against an Atlantean, why not? But I'm still kinda slightly questioning that maybe on a team game. Okay, this is not gonna be too ideal, blocking the path in here with the barracks. But is that gonna be therefore meaning that he's fighting in the classic? I guess he is. I guess he is, and guess it is. Can't say now gold, sure, but I'm not entirely certain if he's gonna be even wanting to get any kind of second TC, as currently he's having a huge problem with food, which is gonna be kinda like barely available in the middle. Again, that's gonna be easy raiding also to be done by Slayer Atlan. So, quite a bit of an unsafe beginning by the Egyptians, and they are both paying for that, being so cheeky and thinking they can be getting away with it. Well, apparently not entirely really. All the way on the left side though, we are going to be apparently at this point doing decently enough, but that's because Icaro is also with army. Probably gonna have to be right now peeling off to help himself for a moment against Atlan, and that's gonna be giving some opportunity probably to Deimos and Brigade to kind of push the buttons here on Mythic Snake. Was he really wanting to go back for the Rhinos? I guess he probably did. Against 2 players at once. No, not entirely recommending that kind of idea. So all the way to the left side, it's gonna be quite nice secondary squad. It won't be entirely able to find anything important, maybe just like the gold miners, but that seems to be practically it, as it seems like that Chemo will be in the end really getting the second TC. Slightly changing, I guess, his overall game plan. Oh well, yeah. He definitely won't be finishing. Right now we just need to be killing the Pharaoh, because obviously as opposed to Ra, we won't be having any kind of further empowerment therefore for the next 90 seconds, which is quite a bit of a bummer currently. Therefore Chemo is going to be having to rethink his plan for the second time. Probably will be able to still continue playing. He's gonna be having some Slingerinos to help him out, but I would be maybe liking also first to move away the Slinger for efficiency, and second potentially even drop another tower either here to the south or just kinda like straight there somewhere to the down position of the gold mine, just to be kinda keeping it even safer, because that's obviously right now something as of a focal point in his overall gameplay. and he really can't be doing anything else. He's at least gonna be trying to go for a bit of a counter raid with the Sphinxes, which are currently here. So therefore well upgraded. Will be probably having some chance on a few special attacks here and there on the wills, but it probably won't be anything too major. Looking at the army pursuing him, with left flank apparently still not entirely moving anywhere different than what we have seen actually before. Just it seems like that we have more like personalized the battle, I guess, as you're gonna be having basically each player fighting one opponent, at least for the time being it looks like. You know, a hit right now on the giraffe, mistaken one, but still, it's gonna be a bit of extra favor. Maybe helping with getting some Valkyries there a bit earlier for Brighead. As you can see, he's currently going to be having no extra upgrade from Thundering Hoofs, whereas for Teal, we also having nothing else. But yeah, well, it's gonna early at 10 minutes of the game time still. So this is gonna be probably a bit conserved and not moving anywhere there. Whereas to the back, Deimos is trying to get himself a second TC. So is right now gonna be Atlan, who is gonna be already succeeding. And that's the new Pharaoh, which is gonna be at this point making potentially the TC a whole lot more easier. As also the army here from Slayer Atlan is not gonna be powerful enough to keep it down. So of course the portion that had to be also chasing after the Sphinxes. It's gonna be at least somewhat of a small help. And it's not gonna be all the might from Slayer Atlan fighting. But well, Kimo is gonna be even just straight, wanted to go for 30C. But he again still isn't doing anything to get himself an extra gold. How much does... oh well. Okay, that's a bit of a problem, of course, not seeing this gold mine. That's gonna be leading him into all kinds of suboptimal decisions, therefore. No, and the next one that he's gonna be maybe thinking about could be the one in the middle, possibly. He could be sharing some responsibility for it with Icaro, possibly, who is also, by the way, finished with a back TC. But going back to some kind of actual actione, that's gonna be certainly pop limit army for Mythic Snake, with Deimos maybe getting a bit closer, but he's having obviously completely terrible army right now for any kind of more serious fight. So unless there's gonna be some immediate assistance from Brighead right now, like now, then he really won't be standing too much of a chance there. So, is he? Ah, he's not. Seems like he's gonna be getting ignored, and therefore Icaro is just about to rejoin into the fight. Seems like it's gonna be still well in time, because the villages in the middle just continuing their economical work as if nothing was going on. No, as you mentioned, not the high pop limit simply for the Ati proved to be more than enough. As the cavalryman just didn't have enough power to break through all those murmillos. We have actually seen that. And now, well, we definitely need to be getting help. And yeah, we're gonna be finally coming back. And some kind of murmillos are gonna be starting. That's nice. Yeah, well, with the manor here, we didn't have that much of a high chance on a kind of real success. So wondering if maybe it was worthwhile for him to possibly waste time on those. Quite nice Anubites. You can say now 4 of them already for Icaro. They're not entirely upgraded yet though. Yeah, that's certainly something that needs to be also right now made. If he's having already so many of them, then he should be focusing, instead of getting basically like a 6th one, or even the 5th one before, frankly, he should have been focusing on getting himself the upgrade into Guardian Anubites. To give them a bit more power in general. As otherwise, do we get some maybe extra 30 Cs possibly? Seems like it's literally just Chemo is gonna be having that. You can see Mythic Snake and Brighead are gonna be still stuck on only one. Let's maybe switch onto some population limit between them. So therefore Brighead is gonna be at 115 but 70, currently 80. Mythic Snake is gonna be at 104. He is in a much better shape. Looks like that though, for example, TC number 2 is not entirely something that will be available for him at this time in the game. At least not yet. So you're gonna be therefore having an opportunity for maybe like checking out what's happening here with Chemo, who apparently did manage to get himself forward on the gold back. Baseline of upgrades on the economy. On the other side we are having Atlan with practically nothing being done. Hendax and Pickaxe. No plow, unfortunately. Yeah, they seem to be having and taking a bit of a break, Chemo and Atlan, for some reason. I mean, like, Chemo is probably gonna be quite a bit happy for that, because it works in his favor. And there's the Guardian Anubite upgrade, with the stink around them. Maybe we could be even trying to heal some of them. Getting a priest and You can see right now some lower hit points are already in place. Because if he's gonna be jumping into the middle of, for example, the heroes here, the Murmilos, he might be having some immediate losses. With Thea, sure. But are we gonna be therefore seeing some switch into cavalry maybe? For that you'll be needing quite a few counter barracks, or military barracks, sorry. Instead of counters, so far, interestingly, gonna be even switching into Kairos. Out of all units, as all the way on the left, seems like that right now, unfortunately, Brigade is gonna be having quite a tough time here. 105 pop limit though is signaling that it's only because he's decided to fall back from the forward position. Of course, right now missing the house momentarily, but the heroic age is gonna be also next in line for him. Not really taking that long, and good opportunity for the raid here. 5 villages, Shield Maiden, Valkyries even. That's gonna be a decent idle time. Quite a bit liking that. Still no Thundering Hooves, by the way. And seems like that really we're gonna be having a bit of a break in the fighting. Some kind of serious fighting, and just kind of like waiting for players to get into the next ages, and then we're gonna be resuming. How's it currently looking? No, just gonna be having Slayeratlan with the Mythical Age, and that's actually why he completely stopped attacking and focusing on anything else, because he just kind of like decided to go into Mythic. Let's see what he's gonna be able to get out of it. Pele is ready. Heka Gigantes, of course, needs to be getting a few more. Oh well. I was gonna go into say, yeah, I wanted to switch over, but at this point let's therefore switch into Mythic Snake, who is not gonna be getting ready for the Heroic Age yet, even though the resources are kind of like halfway there for the food. Fully there for the gold currently. Yeah, that probably didn't land properly. That was a bit of a sketchy animation there, but you can say it now, they seem to be somewhat actually not hitting, it looked to me. I don't think they were actually properly hitting, not entirely certain, but it almost looked that way. Yeah, they weren't getting the hits in. Because it's kind of like quite a bit wonky with the Anubites, that if you're gonna be kind of like targeting them away and moving them away too quick, they just need to be landing, and just a moment after you can be only moving, then basically the attack is gonna be getting cancelled, and you're not gonna be dealing any kind of damage whatsoever. So it's only just like for a show, I guess. It could be saying, as of course the TC is gonna be rebuilt without too much of a, I think, problem. But well, bigger problem apparently is gonna be happening to the right, where Chemo is apparently wanting to be taken down. And well, taken down overall, it seems like Atlan. Alright then, that seems like that could be working well, of course. How about actually sending Pharaoh back? He wants to be using him against the Dryads. I don't think that's actually right about now needed. Yeah, gonna be much better for him, definitely, to be taking that. As you can see, economically, for example, for Atlan, he's gonna be baseline and shaft mine. And if you're gonna be in a moment looking also at blue, I want to be right now staying here with the fight for a moment. Let's see how far it's gonna be leading. As he have finished settlement for Snake, apparently, the base one. He was having it straight 0 for a bit. And well, seems like the Migdol is gonna be there for done. Done and done, with the villages being at Adze, Boso, nice. Can say it now could be using there for irrigation, but otherwise fairly solid upgrades. Even though it's 16 minutes now, so he probably could be already expecting maybe to be even slightly deeper. For Icaro, for example, where are we standing with you? So still having, of course, the Unseas. Haven't used them yet. Otherwise millions of gold, so therefore should be fairly easy for him to get even TC number 3. Shouldn't be anything too complicated.
Rig.
Economically, you can say now second levels, and also missing irrigation, interestingly. Can't really put in that much importance into the food there. Neither Icaro, neither Chemo, it looked like to me. As on the units, for example, no, of course, you can see Mythic Snake is gonna be still quite a bit slow. Whereas for Araki, on the other side, already bronze shields for Deimos. So, of course, that means that the Turmas are gonna be quite a bit ineffective. Same could be right about now set for the Slingers as well, somewhat. Even though they still are kinda nice unit against archers, obviously. And, okay. So, path to secure the gold, which is also kind of protected from at least Like effectively almost 3 size here. So that's not a bad gold mine at all for Icaro. Could be even getting himself a few berries. But by now, berries probably will be already a bit obsolete and they're not entirely that quick. Even compared, for example, to Han, that might be worthwhile, as there's irrigation and even medium Savannahs. Now it looks like that apparently Atlan is in such a shape that it looks like that Deimos will be having to even come in to help, which is of course gonna be free in there for Icaro's hands to develop in the ages and in the upgrades, and apparently even sending some ancestors here to help. It's a bit of a 2v2, but much more importantly it might be a bit of a problem for Brighead, since he's at this point quite soon most probably gonna be facing even some kind of double, it looks like to me. Looks that way to me. Okay, heavy axeman already for blue. Double copper upgrades, that's not too bad. Considering that we have only medium and nothing for Atlan. Oh, wow, really? Njord for Brigade. And walking woods immediately, really? Like, theoretically blocking the gold as Osiris, by the way, for Icaro getting research right now. But if he's having such a nice army prepared for the attack, then obviously the extra siege damage and walking Acacia here are gonna be able to supply. Is gonna be definitely exactly what is needed. Maybe could be even trying to take down there for the damn manor so that he can fit there slightly better. But this is gonna be apparently a bit costly. It's gonna be able to really get it. I mean, I can theoretically shoot. Even the priest, as you can see, is doing quite a bit measly damage through the TC, so even through the repairs you're gonna be able to get it down again. So this time it's not gonna be a straight 0. He already finished with second for Mythic Snake a bit earlier, but they also do have a bit of interesting move forward by Icaro here, which is gonna be quite a bit detrimental to Slay Atlan's attempts on the trade. Yeah, that's not gonna be entirely too helpful. And Town Center is gonna be at least finished for Deimos, who is economically gonna be at only the baseline at 19 minutes. Yeah, that will definitely need to get improved in some way. At least here to the right, it looks like that both Deimos and Atlan were able to push off Chemo. It looks like they're gonna be free in the gold and just like really getting rid of the whole forward base. As okay, what's going on here to the top? Quite a bit of a raid in. Some 4 Ulf sacks already destroyed here. Can see some citizen. Dwarfies are gonna be next in line, as Icaro's Anubites are apparently still very much wanted to get a few more kills in and still staying relevant. Classical H unit at 20 minutes and still working pretty decently. And of course with Snake's help, this is gonna be quite a bit of a painful lesson for a Brighead. As Icaro has cast the Son of Osiris already, and that's going to be not apparently here in the front. Oh wow. Oh come on. Just needs to be jumping there for into the manor currently. Yep. Should have been doing that a whole lot earlier. I mean, like, he lost like half the hit points for practically nothing. For not much of a good reason whatsoever. At least right now the mummy might be able to help somehow with heavy axeman, copper weapons, for example, here, as well upgraded, whereas for purple, we shouldn't be seeing anything at all there besides medium infantry. And Chemo, Son of Osiris, has been already murdered. Didn't even kind of notice how long was he in the game. 1930. Yeah, I was kind of thinking it wasn't too long. Literally was here for a minute. Okay, I guess maybe somewhere here he died, probably. Ah, there he is. There he is. No, that's not too great. Losing it actually so early. As it's gonna be another there for Vortex, and we should be keeping still. At least the last one. Because there's a definitely non-zero chance that we are gonna be seeing Titans with how the game is so far kind of shaping up and with what kind of civilizations we have here. The Egyptians might be able to put it in somewhere. They might be able to do so. At least in some kind of way. Champion Archie, double copper right about now already in place from Sly Atlan, which is not entirely too bad. If you're gonna be comparing, for example, with others, where is right now Chemo's army. Can see heavy axeman, also double copper, not too deep. For yellow, he's going to be having heavy charioteers, with all copper upgrades. So we really aren't too deep with practically anybody in the game. You can see heavy archy, copper and bronze. As you can see, apparently it seems like that our horses were having some attempt on that Migdol. So looks like we might be there for having Lance of Stone, possibly. If we're gonna be able to see some kind of heroes, then possibly can be getting the lay of the land a bit better. And getting some better understanding of what's going on. Whereas all the way on the left side, town center not finished yet for Mythic Snake. He was doing his best here, but we apparently still do have the Walking Acacia from the Njord that was cast quite a few minutes ago already. Can be like maybe 5 minutes ago. And that's the Titan. For Slayer Atlantean, the first one, the top team. So the Atlantean Titan will be the first one to see the light of day. Still not having right now Thundering Hoofs for Brighead. Whereas yet it's gonna be seeing medium Murmilos therefore for the Oranos from Mythic Snake. We also don't have too many other upgrades in general. And really, oh no, that's a new one. It's right now Deimos with the Vortex. Okay, it's gonna be going here to the south. So what do we have? Okay, so plenty cavalrymen, some... Okay, one destroyer. Changing that. Not even a Heka Gigant. Oh, there he is, to the top side. Okay, so he's entirely helping with the fight. And with destroying the TC, which is something kind of a bit of a mistake, even though we don't have that many hit points here for them. As you can see, literally only 45 TC and nothing else. A research for Icaro. Having tons of gold currently, but pop limit seems to be slightly lagging, so he could theoretically get himself either a few towers with crenellations that could also somewhat work, or maybe he can just kind of get himself a few mercenaries. So at least he did research right now the masons to help him out, so he at least was paying some marginal level of attention here. That was definitely exactly what was ordered in there and needed, because they're just like not enough siege weapons, so there was threat that maybe the TC could be destroyed just by the army. So Migdol Stronghold already full, apparently for Icaro. Can't right now fit everything in there, it looks like. Not sure if it was this one possibly. Maybe it was. Saskimo is gonna be right now ready with Champion, Axeman, double bronze and copper, very nice. Deimos, yet another Titan. Okay, so 2 Titans for the top team. And not this one, but rather the God Powers. And we're gonna be having practically useful God Powers only from the other side. Mythic Snake, by the way, Oranos, and still he is going to be only in the Classical. At 24 minutes of the game, he's still in the Classical as an Atlantean. Well, I mean, like, he has lost the base TC a few times, but it's still somewhat surprising. He wasn't doing too badly in the earlier stages. You can say it now, base with Shaft. Also not like incredibly deep. Whereas for purple, he is going to be having apparently irrigation even, and the whole second line plus Skuberi. So that's a lot better. Also do have quite a budding trade currently, especially for yellow for Icaro. Kimo is having some caravans there, but it's not gonna be entirely that well off, it looks like, at least so far. No, and there we go. So, Deimos Champion Gontari coming up. Poseidon Secret is in place. And there we go, also with the Titan Gate there for 4 green. However, if he's having Lance of Stone, which is probably kind of high possibility currently, then he needs to be turning them into heroes, which is quite a lot more difficult, considering how expensive it's going to be. With 45 EC, therefore not entirely having too much of a chance to fall. But curious is that you can see Kimo is getting himself also the monument. Right now this is to Pharaohs, yeah, to Pharaohs. Plenty of favors wanting to collect. Is he wanting to really get himself a Titan as well? Maybe that, maybe Wonder. It's not sure. But it looks like that he does have kind of like the want and somewhat of a need for that anyway. Okay. I kind of actually wondering why is he not trying to save some resources and actually do that. Okay, right now he did a hero. Okay, yeah, that's Lance of Stone. Because I'm kind of wondering if maybe instead of Titan, getting all of these horses into heroes, if it might not be more worthwhile actually for him currently. But nonetheless, they cannot tend to die fairly quickly to, for example, mercenaries, so probably the Titan seems like a solid option. That might be working out pretty decently well. You can say now Slayer Atlant already halfway there. And this town center in the end, no, if he had a few more heroes then sure. But now, Kimo is gonna be there in time with the rip. Okay. Okay, 60 hit points in there a few times. But yeah, that was actually kinda clutch. All he needed to do for a second more, not to be paying attention and not clicking the villages into repairs, and he probably would have lost it. That was damn close. You can say it now to the top still. Mythic Snake is gonna be still chilling in the classical, right? Yeah, he is. Brigade is gonna be also without the mythical age yet. As on the upgrades, medium cavalry, ring giver, nice, and double copper. Medium Turmasa having nothing really important on them. No, and that's gonna be right now the third Titan gate. This time it's gonna be for Kimino, and we're still gonna be able to right now jump around. Atlan and Deimos are gonna be both using their own. So they, at this point, are they actually gonna be able to do something? I think that Red could. He's having Heka Gigantes, he could turn a few heroes. Yeah, he should be the one to potentially cast here. But Isis, right? So therefore you're gonna be having two monuments blocking that. Titan is gonna be already jumping off the ground. Let's see if it's gonna be animation canceling him. Nah, gonna be playing the full animation here. As the next one, that could be jumped into though, because there is monument here, and it's having range slightly off the screen, kind of like half of the extra screen, I think it may be, or maybe a quarter, not as much. But he could be definitely getting about there. Yeah, this one would be possible to destroy. Kimo though played it pretty right, as... Yeah, that's kind of far away. Really? With this? No, you better be having resources for the heroes and better be having Lance of Stone as well there. He does have the resources, but he's not calling it. Okay, so this was a waste. It's not gonna be even able to... Okay, so they are both committing to the same. Titan is on the way. I wanted to say, like, why? Because the Titan was already having a chance to maybe even get there. However, it seems like that Kimo probably will be path blocking him actively. Okay, there we have the heroes. Annihilations in place, of course. Another tower to the top. Not looking too bad as a defense at this point from Kimo. Looking actually pretty fun and pretty solid. Yeah, I'm definitely thinking this is a correct idea. First kill the TC, you're gonna be getting rid of mercenaries, and then you're gonna be having a bit easier maybe path towards the Titan gate. You just gonna want to be effectively just slowing it down, so that the Titan maybe can be getting there from green. That had to hurt. Yeah, that's exactly why I'm saying that maybe it wouldn't be too much of a bad idea to be making actually Titan not have any kind of hitbox practically, so that he could be passing through units freely. And there wouldn't be any kind of collisions for him. I mean, like, it would be even lore conformist, I think, and conformant probably is the better word in English, I guess, because, I mean, like, he's just like huge dude, so why should any kind of measly unit actually stop him? He's just gonna be stomping on me and killing him immediately, right? Nonetheless, second Titanos also come in. Some kind of weird sounds. What the hell was that? Sounds like whoosh whoosh. Strange. But we're gonna be getting also Wonder. No surprise. Champion Axemanos, all bronze currently from Icaro. Okay, what the hell is this ending to the game here? Okay, second. That's a lot of ding-dings right now going on. All across. But two Titans against two Titans then. There's some kind of like absolutely weird swoosh sound. I have no idea where it's coming from. I don't remember even hearing it before. Is it maybe some kind of mirror towers or whatnot? They have somewhat of a weird sound. have a bit of a nicer view. Oh well, that's gonna suck. Dusk. Dawn. That's an interesting one. Maybe that's not entirely too much of a bad view. No, quite evidently blue is gonna be winning, but he's probably gonna get destroyed right after, it looks like. There we go, you can see 334 hit points. So that shouldn't be entirely taking too long right now, for example, for the palaces to pull him down as well. And seems like we're gonna be also having maybe the other engagement to the right, somewhere between the titans. What's right now going on here? Okay, still up. Oh well, that's quite a few fire giants. That's gonna be helping quite a lot against the enemy titan. Where is the yellow? There he is. There he is coming, boy. We have another battle, as we do have therefore at this point the mythical age, which is gonna be there for Ragnarok, right? Yes, Balder for purple. 92. Currently somewhat, so he's gonna be having like 80-90 Ragnarok. And entirely looking too terrible. And interestingly, actually, red is gonna be falling back. They're gonna be wanting to protect the Wonder. I mean, like, the problem is that the Wonder here to the bottom is gonna be always finished first, because it's again there for empowerment. I'm kinda thinking that really the empowerment shouldn't be working on Wonders, the same as it doesn't work on Titans. Used to be originally. In the original game it actually used to be working on Titan Gate. Which, as you can imagine, was properly broken. So that's why it was removed, as you're gonna be having a fight number 2. What kind of, actually at this point, lighting I'm gonna be getting for this one? What do we have here? Olympus is kinda neat. Seems like the birdie is gonna be again winning here, the same as last time. There's a bit of a small difference in the animation, or kinda like used to be. Or is it still? Because that definitely used to be a difference in the animation. I think in Troll was the worst. And he was having the slowest animation, so therefore somewhat like a slowest damage. But I'm not sure if it was really changed in the patch. Or if it was only suggested. I think it might have been changed actually. They are gonna be a bit better, but I'm not sure. At this point, not 100%. You will have to be looking into some of the latest patch notes. It will be like 3, 4, 5. Some of the latest patches. I think it was kind of like discussed and discovered in the community in the first place. But you can see, heavy charioteers, still double iron actually and bronze, as you're gonna be heading into somewhat of a normal warfare currently. After a long time. And well, seems like at Mythic Snake he's gonna be having double copper bronze. By the way, he did get at least into the heroic age, so nice. Where do we have him? Mythic Snake. Yeah, no mythical age yet. So he's kinda like a heroic snake so far. And yeah, tons of towers, of course, no good powers coming up. But frankly, you don't even have any kind of good powers here anymore. Very interesting is that Brigade, for some reason, never actually used Great Hunt. Fortunately, not something that you can probably use now to any kind of great effect. Further defense, yeah, they're just gonna be right now going for the Wonder, apparently, with everything they have. And that's like 0 chance it can be coming down. Ragnarok is the legitimately only chance. So I'm thinking at this point, since we don't have that anymore, I think he's cast it as well, right, just a moment ago. Or he didn't. Well, just kind of like looking at the empty farms. He didn't. Yeah, I'm thinking he needs to be waiting for full pop limit of his myth villages, and then just kind of like goes for some kind of massive all-in, because they're gonna be having a pretty good chance that their own Wonder can see the differences about 30 seconds between them. If they destroy the enemy one, they win on their own, and if they do it right in about 5 minutes from now, it's also about the time in there. It is also very much about the timing. However, 1000 hit points on the Titan is a problem, and they should be trying to path block. And very actively so at this point. Because the Kontari are just like not useful, because you can see this is right now exactly the problem with pathfinding that currently is in Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition. Where if you're gonna be having cavalry, they're just gonna be blocking each other all the time. Didn't used to be the case in the user patch on Voobly, and the original game was played there. Because that was having fixed pathfinding to a certain degree. But the E does suffer from that also. Maybe could be even taking down the TC here. Still does have a lot of hit points to take down the potential Wonder. And hopefully Atlantis also, yes, on Architects, good. Okay, okay, so Snake is gonna be getting Helios. And I'm thinking, no, Wonder definitely not, because he doesn't have Favor. So for that he needs would be needing the third TC as well. As it's unfortunately taken by Icaro. Otherwise, Brigade is also at only 2 TCs. That's why he's also so slow, and it's gonna be quite an interesting side build right now by Mythic Snake, which is making good sense. Blocking economy, potentially blocking trade, and might be therefore slowing down the Ragnarok fairly well. Okay. Now we're talking. Okay, the Warren Augur, Draft Horses, Engineers, everything there, nice. Fullest upgrades that you can get. That could be making it through. 99% pierce resistance, that could work. Okay. No danger here. Yeah, this is not properly walled off. This is something that can work pretty well, I'm thinking. All the way to the right side, by the way, the Titan apparently got already destroyed by... No. It would be the same case. He would be maybe taking maximum half of the hit points on the Wonder. I don't think he will be able to get anything more. Classic pathfinding, of course. And they're gonna be right now swooshing from the other side, from Mythic Snake. So that were probably some kind of bugged sound there for effects from the swooshing that I heard a bit earlier. Okay. Path blocking coming into play. We are gonna be having... No, Archaea not exactly the unit against this, right? 99%. At this point, he could be trying to maybe sacrifice a few of them at the back, but he's getting attacked from all distances and all directions. Again, Chariot is not entirely the most ideal. So therefore, the whole group is gonna be slowed down anyway. So at this point, the question is... This is not gonna be working, apparently. He's gonna get slowed down here, but maybe could be taken at least down the TC, based in some resources, potentially. Champion Infantry for Mythic Snake, okay. Nice, I guess, but not gonna be powerful enough, as he also gonna be having, some concentrated attack from the right side with, Sky Passage, good. Good, good, good. Yeah, they kinda actually are somewhat open here. So there are some kind of chances. I'm thinking for the top team. You can see we are still having 5 minutes, so they are having enough time for another attempt. Problem is that maybe Brigade won't be having kind of like even a base for that anymore, because Mythic Snake is trying to destroy him from top. It's kind of like even walling him off, or what is he doing there? Just don't want to be leaving this for the time being. Okay, so that's how far we got. Like 1 or 2 surviving. That's not entirely ideal. Because plenty towers, not even ballista towers yet. That's gonna be probably getting upgraded somewhere. And yes, just some kind of random walls. Somewhat random trading, of course, going on here. By the way, where are we with the potential rack? He's not going for the turbo rack. Otherwise, on the upgrades, double copper and bronze. It's maybe something that they should try to do. Basically, Brigade would be... No, he can't actually. I was going to say that the Brigade should be trying to maybe at this point Atlan or right now resigning, okay? So that's gonna be a clear deal. Oh, wait! Wait, what? Even if he resigns, the Wonder still runs? The Wonder still runs if you are resigned? Wow, I actually haven't seen that before. Huh. It makes sense in a certain way, but on another side and from another side it doesn't, but apparently it's the mechanism of the game. So as long as the team is up, then the Wonder can probably still actually win it for them, as you're gonna be having another attempt from the left side, and this time, this one is gonna be succeeding. That might actually work. That should work, frankly. That's quite a lot of them, and that's not gonna be easy to kill. You can see they are right now way more focused here to what's happening to the right flank. They have no idea this actually happened on the left. Yeah, this is gone. Even though villages are, of course, quite excellent killers. And there's gonna be another vortex right now coming up. It should be right now falling. Way too much damage right now. There we go. So, Sphinx is gonna be down. And now... now, they actually do have a wonder from a player who is already resigned. I don't think I've actually ever seen any kind of nonsense like that. They can potentially repair it. You should be able to repair your teammates' buildings. I mean, like, I think even enemies' buildings when it comes down to it, but that's somewhat difficult to do, of course, usually under normal circumstances. But I think it should be quite a bit possible here. How many resources did he actually get left with? Not much. So he couldn't even send anything important. Unfortunately, army kind of blocked here. What kind of resources do we have? So Icaro is gonna be currently getting raided first, but nonetheless he's having 14,000 resources, so he can definitely free himself a lot more pop limit. Brighead is, of course, not much in the game. Mythic Snake, getting Titan. It's not having enough time to build a Titan and cross the map. That's not enough. That won't work. Slayer Atlan, we have seen. Deimos, a bit of a float. He can afford to potentially get the TCs. That's a good idea. And then maybe he can be getting the farms here possibly. But nonetheless, they're just gonna need to be right walling and blocking the path in and whatnot nonsense is. And Kimo as the last player is gonna be having also some 5,000 resources on his account already. They don't have rocks. They both went through Nephthys. I mean, like, they have a very good chance to... They actually should even win this at this point, it looks to me. We do have one Vortex from Mythic Snake. Yeah, he needs to be absolutely doing everything that he can with that. And obviously that's gonna be also Ragnarok just like now to hold at the very end. He was having, I don't know, like 60, 70 maybe. What was he having? Currently. Oh, wow. Not even that actually. He was having like 40 and he's having like 20 Ragnarok in the end. Yeah, they should be trying to kind of do anything here. 2 minutes. Is the Vortex getting prepared here? Nice defense, but it wasn't entirely needed, as you can tell. Blocked trade. Where is Steel? Okay, he's not in... What the hell is going on? They're just kind of like running through, apparently, Chemo. Okay. 1 minute for... Come on. Trying to get the TC is kind of sweet, yeah, I guess. But nonetheless, where are the walls? Where are the any kind of buildings? Where is anything at all? Oh man, yeah, that's not gone yet. Right now, the army that we actually have here from Brigade could be enough. Yeah, that's exactly how useful that Titan Gate is going to be. Okay, that's the Vortex. This is a huge mistake by Mythic Snake. He should have been absolutely like getting any kind of army that he can for this. I was kind of thinking about the Great Hunt on the allied animals. I'm not sure if it works. I think probably not. But I'm not 100%, but I think not. But nonetheless. Okay, Ragnarok is in place. 20 Ragnarok and it's gonna be maybe a complete clutcher. Minute left. Because that's exactly right now the melee units they need to destroy all the siege weapons. They can repair this. They can repair this. It's gonna be incredibly slow, but they can. Deimos should be able to repair it. He's having villages nearby. But yeah, Titan Gate right now. Of course not gonna be built because knew he's not gonna be having enough time. Last Vortex gone. We don't have anything at all. Yeah, this is gonna win. This is gonna be a win wonder. From a player who is resigned from the game. Well, you'll learn a few things. Thank you very much, xtinxion, for this suggestion. That's definitely worth it. Absolute worth. Yeah, this is not gonna work at this point. Look at that. Yeah, they kinda made a mistake. They didn't notice the second sneak of Brigade. Frankly, I didn't either. Didn't notice it either, so, well, can't blame them for that. And now the small Ragnarok that he didn't actually cast it before is gonna be more than enough to right now block this. 12 seconds, 10. Yeah, there's nobody gonna be getting through. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and despair. There it is. So, in case you have never seen the situation, the same as me, the same as I, then, well, even if you resign, your wonder is still in the game, and still can actually win it in the end. You think that he knew they could still win, even if Green had resigned? Maybe. But it's not entirely something that obviously is gonna be At collegial and quite a bit risky, as you can tell. No, that's an interesting little piece of knowledge. From one hand, it doesn't make sense, because you'll be wanting to think that if the player resigns, then basically he's off the game. From the other point of view, it's making sense because the units are still in the game. For example, autocues are working after the player resigns. They still do produce no new units as long as you have resources. So theoretically, he resigned because they thought they lost, because the first attempt with like 30 rams didn't succeed to get into the Titan Gate, into the Wonder at all. And they weren't having too much of a good luck through the Sky Passage either. So he resigned because he thought they lost. But yeah, they managed to find a way. They managed to find a way here. So what I wanted to say, that even if you're gonna be having a resigned player, a resigned teammate, if you, for example, float in a lot of resources, you can theoretically still sling them. And if they have autocues on their military buildings, they will still produce new units for you, for your team. So just in case, if you're gonna be having some kind of early resigner, and you kind maybe happen to notice that he's having autocue on some kind of useful spot, where you can be getting that army some kind of actual extra fight, you can just send in some resources and you should be able to get a few more. I think you should be still able to send resources even to a resigned player, right? I think it should be possible. Not sure, but that's kind of like something I'm also not sure about if you can. But theoretically you might be. But yeah, that was a good game. With a very unusual ending, like from all kinds of points of view. So right now looking if there is going to be some further potential team game. I just started with some 1600-1700 game. And then there is still that high level team game that maybe you could be joining into after. Okay, so let's have a look at some maybe upgrades here. And see if we get lucky there. Even for example, Levy mainline for Deimos. Yep, nice to see that for easier defenses here. That's even like, yeah, seems like there's some random, not Mythic Snake, random Contarius. No idea where he actually came from. You can see, for example, here, Slay Atlan. Still having right now autocue clicked in, some archers. He just doesn't have right now manors for population limit, or rather he doesn't have the TCs, because they of course get removed from you, so that's like one of a bummer. But if he's gonna be able to keep himself, if you're gonna be able to keep him on manors, you can still continue with some units. Pretty good units upgrade for Atlan. For purple, we weren't entirely too deep with Brighead. Forgotten Hero. They don't even bother with any kind of new villages, of course. No point. It was already all in. Missing some upgrades there. He was having a really tough game, Snake. On absolutely all fronts. With yellow, that's gonna be apparently all the upgrades there. Teal upgrades on the military, double iron and copper is nice. And Chemo actually the whole game, he really didn't have irrigation flood control. What a thing to be missing for him, of all people. And on the charioteers, apparently he also was missing a few more things here as well. Maybe also surprisingly, because I'm thinking he was floating. Yeah, he was. But okay, that was cool. Let's therefore have a look into post-game, where, and by the way, also on Voobly, you are actually gonna be seeing that Atlan didn't get the points for the victory. That the points were awarded only to Brighead and Deimos. So, actually, I'm not entirely certain how it works, the counting who wins and who loses. If there's some kind of like timing, that the resigns have to be within, I don't know, like a minute or 30 seconds, I don't know, for it to be counting properly. But actually, really, Atlan didn't get the points. You got deducted as well. Not sure if maybe they will be contesting that. Can therefore get in, you can get the recorded games as well if you wish. But yeah, Brigade and Deimos definitely deserved those points. But frankly, Atlan as well. It was his wonder after all, even though he resigned. Oh well, that's one hell of a trade for Icaro. And also quite a few resources distributed. Yeah, that was like a big mistake by Snake. He should have been, at the end, he should have just kind of like destroyed all the army and get in, I don't know, 20 fire siphons or whatever. And then do Vortex. That probably would have worked. Or probably quite a bit assuredly would have worked. Slay Atlan. No, well, even actually posthumously, he's gonna be having such a nice kill count. And units lost. Very nice. That's surprisingly actually high. And highly in his favor. Not entirely certain where it's coming from. Apparently against Chemo. Can see 600 lost, 400 killed. Guess tons of mercenaries. Can I be curious if maybe Chemo is having mercenaries as the most common unit? Apparently he doesn't. Rather Axemen at 222. Heka Gigantes, not too many of them. Nice Shield Maiden Valkyries. Guardian Anubis for Icaro. Yeah, well, he was doing a few things with those as well. In the Classical Age especially. But even a bit later. Not only in Classical. Yeah, that's maybe where the Ragnarok could have been having some good power, but even in the end, you can see 41 to 14, 27 Ragnarok, and how clutch can it be? Having actually even the biggest army in the end, at the end. Okay, GG. Now that was a pretty good recorded game.